Hey everybody, we are going to, oh, wrong slide to start off. We are going to start today with rates and ratios, day two, and away we go. All right, first, before we get going, let's just review a little multiplication. This is one where we want to do our reducing or our cross canceling, whatever you call it. Before we start multiplying, I see 5 here. Let's divide that by 5 and divide this by 5 and we get 10. Here, these all divide by 3, so this could be 6, and this could be 7. And what else could we do? Ooh, 7 goes into 35, so we can make this a 1 and this a 5. Let's do a long diagonal here. I've got a 6 and a 12. 6 divided by 6 is 1. 12 divided by 6 is 2. Ooh, we're getting close. Oh, I see the 2 and the 10. There were a lot here. 2 goes into 2 once, 2 goes into 10 5 times. And oh, this is cool. Can you believe it? 1 times 5 is 25. 25 over 1 times 1 times 1. After all that, it turned into just 25. So just remember to do your canceling and your reducing before you multiply. All right, how about this one? What is 1/2 of 1/3 of 1/4 of 1/5? All right, so the key here is knowing what the of means. And in the context of this question, and most questions, of is going to be multiplication. Think about it. Here's my little thought bubble down here. If you want to figure out what 1/2 of 10 was, you would do 1/2 times 10, and that would be 5. So we're going to apply the same thing here. We got 1/2 times 1/3 times 1/4 times 1/5. So it's going to be a really small fraction here. And if you multiply these together, on top you get 1. The bottom's a little harder. I think it's going to be 120. 5 times 4 is 20, times 3 is 60, times 2 is 120. So it turns out that 1/2 of 1/3 of 1/4 of 1/5 is actually 1/120th. What else? How about some word problems? I don't know if these numbers are accurate, but let's say that GCDS accepts 1 out of every 10 applicants. So I'm going to make a little note to myself here. I'm going to write yes, that means we accept you, out of total applicants. So now if we accept, we get 1 yes out of every 10 applicants. I can set up a proportion here. If 400 kids apply, how many will be accepted? Well, the question we're trying to answer here is how many yeses? And how many kids applied, that's our 400 down here. So just to check my setup here, it's acceptances over total applicants, acceptances over total applicants, and now we just cross multiply and solve. 10 times x is 10x, 1 times 400 is 400, and it looks like in this year, maybe you could have done this one in your head, but it looks like we're going to accept 40 kids this year if 400 apply. All right, so how about this one? This one's a little trickier, so I'll give you a little start, and then you can try it on your own. I'm telling you how many boys and girls were at the party, so my ratio is going to be 4 boys to 3 girls. But then you notice here, there were 133 people at my party. That's boys and girls combined. So I'm actually going to set up my ratio here, where if we're trying to find how many girls there are, I'm not going to set it up as a 3 to 4 ratio, because that's girls to boys. I'm going to set it up as a 3 to 7 ratio. How'd I get that 7? Well, I know if 4 boys and 3 girls are coming to my party, it's going to be a great party, by the way. I know that that means that 3 out of every 7 total people are coming. So see if you can figure out this one. Pause the video and then come back and I'll talk you through it. So if I knew that there were 133 total people at the party, that means I've got 3 out of every 7 are girls. How many are girls? X out of 133. So the 133 here corresponds to total. And that gives me, when I do a little cross multiplication, that means 57 girls. And then how many are boys? Well, you could set up another proportion, but I decided to just do subtraction. I knew if I had 133 total people coming, that the rest had to be boys. So you end up with 76 boys. All right. Sum of two numbers is 24. They have a ratio of 3 to 5. I'm going to give you two quick ways to do this one. The first is you could do the same thing I did in the last one. We know that the total is 24. So if I'm just looking for the first number, I could say that the ratio is 3 out of 8, because I did 3 plus 5 here. And then I know that that smaller number is going to be x, and the total is going to be 24. So I got that 8 by adding these up. cross multiply or build a bridge, and you get that the smaller number is 9, right, times 3 times 3. And that would mean that the bigger number, 24 minus 9, is going to be 15, sorry, 15. So my two numbers are 9 and 15. This is actually not my favorite way to do it. What I like to do when I get a ratio question like this one is I like to put little baby x's after each number, and I'm actually going to write an equation here. I'm going to say that first number, which is 3 times something, 3x, plus the second number, which is 5 times something, is going to equal 24. So then you get that 8x equals 24, x equals 3. This is not actually one of the numbers. What you have to do now is plug that back in. X is just kind of like a dummy variable here to help us along the way. But then if I do 3 times 3, that gets me one number, which is 9. And if I do 5 times 3, plugging my x back in, that's 15. And I actually like doing it that way the best. But if you want to set the proportion, the other way works. Before I go, let's do one more practice problem. Try this one. This is a scale problem. If you've ever seen a map, this is how scale works. 2 inches equals 30 miles. So try this one out. Pause the video. And when you come back, hopefully you got 135 miles. All right, so these are ratio and proportion questions. Hope this helps. Good luck.